The surgeon yanks the sheet off the table, and it's empty again. 40 students paid for a lesson tonight, and there's no body to teach with. Meanwhile, across town, a shovel bites into loose dirt. Someone's already solving his problem. By law, only executed criminals could be dissected. Scotland hanged maybe 2 men a year. Edinburgh's medical schools needed hundreds of bodies. The math never worked, and desperate anatomists started paying anyone willing to fill the gap. The trade had rules of its own. Fresh graves meant fresh bodies, so resurrection men watched funerals like hawks, counting mourners, memorizing which plot got the newest coffin. 48 hours after burial, before decay set in, they struck. Gravediggers made pennies a day, easy targets for a bribe. Slip one a few coins and he'd leave a grave shallow, or mark it with a stick nobody else would notice. The dirt did the rest of the lying. Dig from the head end, not the feet. Less dirt to move, less noise to make. Slide the body out through a narrow shaft, then pack the grave back exactly as it was. By sunrise, the plot looked untouched. Bodies traveled in barrels marked as meat, in trunks labeled as furniture. Nobody questioned a man carrying a heavy sack at 4 a.m., not if he walked like it was nothing. Doctors never asked where the bodies came from. They just left gold coins on a back windowsill and unlocked the cellar door. By morning, both were empty. Coins gone, corpse delivered. Everyone kept their hands clean by never looking too closely. When a resurrection man got arrested, doctors paid his fines and hired his lawyer. Lose your supplier, lose your school. So the same men who taught morality in daylight bought silence in the dark, again and again. A fresh adult body could fetch 8 to 10 guineas, more than a laborer earned in 3 months. Children's bodies sold by the inch. The trade was organized, priced, and quietly essential to every medical school around. Rival gangs staked out the same cemeteries, sometimes digging up a grave twice in one night. Fights broke out over corpses like they were cargo. One gang in London reportedly supplied over 500 bodies a year. Then 2 men in Edinburgh found a shortcut. Why dig up the dead when you could just make your own? William Burke and William Hare didn't need shovels. They needed a lodging house and someone nobody would miss. Between 1827 and 1828, they murdered at least 16 people, smothering lodgers, beggars, anyone passing through. Then they carried the bodies straight to Dr. Robert Knox's dissection rooms and got paid. No digging, no risk, no questions asked. It ended when a lodger found a woman's body under a bed. She'd been at a party the night before. Burke and Hare hadn't just cut corners. They'd stopped needing graves at all. Police finally had a name to chase. Hare testified against Burke to save his own neck. Burke hanged in January 1829 in front of a crowd of 25,000 people who'd paid to watch the very kind of death that once fed medical schools. Dr. Knox never faced charges. Here's the part nobody puts on the plaque. Burke's own skeleton still hangs in Edinburgh's Anatomy Museum today. The man who killed for dissection tables became one himself. Proof the trade he fed never actually needed him. It just needed a body.